Ottawa, Canada's national capital city. Located in eastern Ontario, Ottawa is Canada's national capital city. With a population of about 1 million in 2021, it is the fourth largest city in Canada and the second largest in the province of Ontario. Long before French explorer Samuel de Champlain arrived in what is now Ottawa in the early 17th century, Indigenous peoples had been living in the area for thousands of years. The Algonquins named the region Ottawa, which means to trade or exchange, the word from which Ottawa is derived. The city name Ottawa was chosen as a reference to the Ottawa River. The Ottawa River unites a national capital region of two cities, namely Ottawa and Gatineau, extending into Ontario on the southern bank and Quebec on the other. The name Canada likely comes from the Huron Iroquois word Kanata, meaning village or settlement. The first use of Canada as an official name of a jurisdiction came in 1791, when the province of Quebec was divided into two colonies, namely Upper Canada and Lower Canada. In 1841, the two colonies were united under one name, the Province of Canada, which consisted of the predominantly French Quebec and the English Ontario. Ottawa was chosen as Canada's capital for three important reasons. First, it was located on the border between Quebec and Ontario, approximately midway between Toronto and Kingston to the west, and Montreal and Quebec City to the east. Second, Ottawa was favorably located from the standpoint of defense against attacks, compared with the competing cities such as Montreal, Kingston, and Toronto. Third, because Ottawa is located at the confluence of the Ottawa River and the Rideau River, transportation by water was easily available from spring to autumn. Prior to Ottawa's incorporation as a city in 1855, it was known as Bytown since 1826, named after Colonel John By, a military engineer who was responsible for the construction of the Rideau Canal. When Ottawa was first selected as the capital in the mid-19th century, it was primarily a lumber town. In the second half of the 19th century, the city witnessed the construction of a number of new government buildings. The Ottawa Improvement Commission was created in 1899 in an effort to beautify the city. In 1958, thanks to the National Capital Act, the National Capital Region doubled to its current size of over 4,500 square kilometers. As Canada's political center, Ottawa houses most of the federal departments, as well as the Parliament, Office of the Prime Minister, and the Supreme Court. At the heart of the Parliament Hill lies a cluster of Gothic-style structures, where the House of Commons and Senate conduct their meetings. The Parliament Hill took on its present form with the completion of the magnificent Peace Tower in 1927. More than 20 bronze statues stand on the grounds of the Parliament Hill, commemorating important figures in the country's history, including Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth II, as well as several former Prime Ministers of Canada. A number of statues and structures are found nearby, including the tall granite National War Memorial known as the Response, which honors all Canadian Armed Forces personnel who have served the country in the cause of peace and freedom. The famous 5 statue commemorates the legal recognition of women as persons. The Parliament Hill has been the official Canada Day site for over 50 years. On July 1st each year, thousands of Canadians and international visitors converge on the hill to take part in the biggest Canada Day party in the country. The epic celebration features a variety of programming, including appearances by dignitaries and special guests, live performances by top Canadian musicians, an air show by the prestigious Canadian Forces Snowbirds.
And now, to sing our national anthem, from British Columbia de la Colombie-Britannique, veuillez accueillir Jennifer Gillis.
Ottawa is an ideal destination for all seasons. While Canada Day celebration on July 1st and changing of the guard ceremony in summer are highlights of the year, the city's calendar of fun activities actually begins in late January when the barometer plunges below -20 degrees Celsius. In order to celebrate Canada's unique northern culture and climate, the National Capital Commission created Winterlude in 1979. The winter festival lasts for 3 weekends, usually the first 3 weekends in February. As a matter of fact, Winterlude is jointly held in Ottawa and Gatineau. The annual event is one of the National Capital Region's most important tourist draws, attracting hundreds of thousands of domestic visitors and international tourists each year. The focal point of Winterlude is the Rideau Canal Skateway, running from downtown Ottawa to Dow's Lake for a total distance of 7.8 kilometers. It is the longest skating rink in the world. You can show off your skills of pirouette ice skating or tiptoe skating in a leisurely way. Don't just focus on the ice under your skate. Remember to wave to the Winterlude mascots, the Ice Hog family. Try the famous Beavertail at one of the snack bars and stop for a minute to enjoy the festive shows by local magicians. Another primary activity is known as Bal de Neige, or Snowflake Kingdom, in Jacques Cartier Park of Gatineau. This site is literally a massive snow park with ice slides and snow sculptures, a wonderland for children. During the 3 weeks, go to the Confederation Park downtown in the evening better known as Crystal Garden, to see the ice sculpture competition and meet with some of the most talented ice sculpture artists from around the world. Perhaps 9 out of 10 Canadians love the sweet and sticky maple syrup, and the best way to satisfy your sweet tooth is to visit a cabane or sugar shack at the end of each winter to observe how farmers tap their maple trees to harvest sap. Try the delicious, locally made maple syrup and buy a bottle as a souvenir. Less than 5 kilometers away from downtown Ottawa, the Vanier Sugar Shack is one of the active urban sugar shacks. It is located within a 7-hectare sugar bush where the tradition of maple sugar production is still proudly preserved. For decades, the success of the sugar shack relies heavily on the help of volunteers who generously donated their time and effort for multiple tasks, such as tree tapping, collection of maple water, and service of meals at the Sugar Shack restaurant. Did you know that 40 liters of maple water are needed to make 1 liter of syrup? When weeping willows at Dow's Lake turn greenish in April, you know that the world-renowned Canadian Tulip Festival is only days away. The 2-week Ottawa Tulip Festival is arguably the largest tulip event outside of the Netherlands. The Canadian Tulip Festival was established in 1953 to celebrate the historic royal gift of tulips from the Dutch to Canadians following the Second World War as a symbol of international friendship. The festival honors the memorable role of the Canadian troops in the liberation of the Netherlands, and also commemorates the birth of Dutch Princess Margaret in Ottawa during Second World War, the only royal personage ever born in Canada. Now, let's review a touching story about the Man with Two Hats monument by Dow's Lake. An identical statue stands in the Dutch city of Apeldoorn. The 4.6-meter bronze monument was a gift to Canada from the Netherlands, unveiled by Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret of the Netherlands in Ottawa on May 11, 2002. The princess had also dedicated the original Apeldoorn statue 2 years earlier on May 2, 2000, during the 55th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands, in front of a large group of Canadian veterans. This unique monument pays tribute to the crucial role played by Canadian soldiers in the liberation of the Netherlands during the Second World War. The twin monuments exemplify the strong ties between the Netherlands and Canada. With the donation of this monument, an expression of joy and a celebration of freedom, the Netherlands pays a lasting tribute to Canada. Each year, from late April to mid-May, as many as 300,000 tulips are in full bloom by Dow's Lake, at Majors Hill Park, and around the Parliament Hill. These beautiful tulips symbolize Canadians' love of peace and friendship. Ottawa is a city full of fun activities all year round. Since 1986, on the last Saturday of every May, the Great Glebe Garage Sale takes place in the trendy Glebe neighborhood. After a routine spring cleaning, thousands of local residents bring out from their basements hundreds of household items they can let go for $1 or $2. This popular community event attracts treasure hunters from Gatineau and other communities nearby. During your visit, stop outside the First Avenue School which has hosted Queen Elizabeth II and other royal family members. Come to see the Dragonboat race at Mooney's Bay in June, the Glebe Backyard Art shows in July, a variety of music festivals in August, and Terry Fox Run in September, and the list goes on. Nature lovers must come in autumn to see the vibrant colors on the campus of Ottawa U and the blue skies along Britannia Bay. Ottawa is remarkably beautiful, with neat parks and beaches along the rivers and historic canal that define the city. The Gatineau Hills are just across the Ottawa River, offering a natural setting for hikers and cyclists. Ottawa is a charming city. At Rideau Hall, you will probably get a chance to say hello to the Governor General. On your way out, have a look at 24 Sussex across the street, the Prime Minister's residence. In front of the famed shuttle lorry or along Sparks Street, you may run into a seasoned member of parliament, a junior minister, or a well-known CBC journalist. Those young adults wearing a sharp tie are likely political staffers or policy analysts. They pass by swiftly, not necessarily meaning to avoid contact with you, but because that's their pace of life on a daily basis. In deep winter, many students and office workers skate on the frozen Rideau Canal to Lisker School or one of the many federal department buildings or City Hall downtown. Tourists stroll around Somerset Street to snap a picture of the Chinatown passageway. Byward Market is a must-visit spot. If you haven't already done so, make sure to try the renowned Beavertail and sit for a while at one of the comfortable Adirondack chairs. When the city is cloaked in first snow of December, Christmas lights are visible at Rideau Mall and Lansdowne Park. And that's high time to watch a hockey game. And don't be surprised that most local fans cheer for the Senators and whoever is playing Toronto's Maple Leafs hockey team. Ottawa, the political center of Canada, the incessant heartbeat of the Parliament Hill, is buzzing in the four corners of the National Capital Region and beyond. Thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe to this channel, Words of Woods.